Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This video is going to be about the narcissist and criticism. As many people don't like to be criticised in their life for who they are or the things that they have done. However, there is such things as constructive criticism, where somebody is trying to help another person out, where somebody is trying to guide another person, or just a basic compliment that a narcissist takes the wrong way and automatically assumes that you have criticised them when you are complimenting them. And this is very different to a narcissist backhanded compliment. A narcissist will say, "You look better in that than you did yesterday," to give that backhanded compliment, whereas you can give them a genuine compliment of, "Oh wow, I like that new top," and they can just turn around and instantly snap at you with, "It's my money, I can spend it on what I like," even though you didn't even mention money or anything like that. You were just complimenting them on their top. There was no backhandedness to it, but a narcissist took it the wrong way and took it as criticism. And a narcissist's reactions to simple things said to them, to compliments, their rage is one major red flag that you could be dealing with a narcissistic person. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers and your continued support with the channel. It is greatly appreciated. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw. This channel is all about the narcissist personality disorder, to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with in your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot get no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you overcome narcissistic abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. So when it comes to criticism and a narcissist, this is usually due to their own insecurities, their own sense of paranoia. And it might be down to how they treat others. They then assume others are coming from the same intent as the narcissist. So their reactions to criticism, their reactions to compliments is their self-defense mechanism to protect themselves. However, how they react to compliments seems out of proportion to what you've said to them, or doesn't seem to follow the line of conversation, such as complimenting them on a new top and then twisting it round onto it's their money, they can spend it on what they want, when you never even mentioned money. It's a kind of word salad where they are going to attack you because they feel like you attacked them, even though your intentions weren't to attack them. More often than not, because a narcissist's intentions is to attack you. They feel entitled to all their money, they feel entitled to all your money. So if you go and buy a new top, they might turn around and say, "How have you afforded that?" So because they would have a dig at you, they're assuming you're having a dig at them, even though you didn't even say that. You just said, "Oh, I like that new top." To a narcissist, anything that isn't how they want things to go is an insult to them. Every disagreement to a narcissist is an insult to rejection of who they are as a person. Even compliments can be taken as threats because they're trying to hide who they are. And when a narcissist feels like they've been criticised, they might rage out at you, they might fall silent on you, or they might twist it any way they can to how they can devalue you, how they can turn your words against you. A narcissist, you might have just sat down and a narcissist might ask you to get up and get something, and you might just say to them, "Oh, go and get it yourself, I've just sat down." And they're going to turn around with, "Well, if you loved me, you'd do it. I thought you cared about me. Wow, that's selfish. Oh, you always have to be so awkward." They're going to devalue and discredit who you are as a person to make you feel bad for not doing something for them. And this isn't a toddler that's just wanting some help. This isn't a grumpy teenager that's feeling a bit lazy. This is a grown adult that hasn't learned the life skills to think of other people's feelings. They only think of their own. You can be going somewhere and they might not know the directions, and they can ask you, where do we go? And then you can say, we take a left here. And they say, don't you think I know where I'm going? I already know that. They will drive you round the houses to pretend they know the directions rather than admit that they don't know something to you. Or they will insult you. They will insult the route that you take. They will cause an argument in the car because you're trapped within that vehicle. They will prod and poke and bait you to get reactions out of you, to distract you from the fact that they don't even know where they're going. If they're cooking a meal and you can say, oh, add a pinch of salt to the pasta. And they can turn around and rage at you and say, don't you think I know what I'm doing? I know how to cook. I forgot you were so perfect. Well, if you know what you're doing, you might as well do it, hadn't you? And they'll stomp off and sit down and then leave you to do it. So a narcissist can say that they're going to cook you a nice meal because you've been working hard all week. They're going to treat you, yet they're going to find a way to get out of doing it by blaming you. You can go somewhere, you can go to a restaurant and you might be standing in a queue and the person in front of you, their child might step to one side, so that person might step to one side and the narcissist will push on forward. They'll not wait for the person to return because they're self-entitled. They're the self-entitled hypocrite. It's one rule for them and another for you. They'd be allowed to step out of the queue and they'd expect their place to be waiting for them when they return. Yet when someone else steps out of the queue, they will push forward. And if you say, oh, perhaps we should wait because they're coming back in line, a narcissist is going to turn around and say, well, it's their own stupid fault for stepping out of line. They need to get to the back of the queue now. You can compliment a neighbour. A neighbour might have had something done to their house and you can compliment and say, oh, doesn't their garden look nice now they've had it all done up? And a narcissist is going to find a way and judge it and say, no, they must have got their money from some form of inheritance to be able to afford to do that. And it looks a mess. You wouldn't have it done. They're going to find a way to pull somebody else down to feel better about their own insecurities. When it comes to a narcissist, they're allowed to be sensitive. They're allowed to overreact. They're allowed to be awkward. They're allowed to cause arguments. However, they will twist it onto the fact that you're the one that's overreacting. You're the one that's been too sensitive. You're the one that's been awkward. You're the one that's causing arguments, so that they don't have to take responsibility for their own behaviour, so that they don't have to take ownership of the things they do to others, so that there's no consequences to their actions. And because they always accuse you of being the oversensitive one, of overreacting, this can then cause you to walk on eggshells around them. Fear speaking up. Not only fear speaking up for how they're going to react to you just because you paid a compliment to them. However, there's no winning with a narcissist, because if they walk in the house with a new hairdo and you say, oh, your hair looks very nice, they're going to come at you and say, it's my time, it's my life, it's my money, I can do what I want. So you think, oh, shouldn't have said that. Oh, well, and it leaves you confused, it leaves you bewildered. It leaves you questioning what is happening. Yet if they walk into the house with a new hairdo and you don't say anything, they're going to come at you for not recognising. How can you not see what I've had done? You obviously don't care. You don't pay any attention to me. So there is no winning with a narcissist, which is often why we end up walking on eggshells around them, trying not to set them off. But they are a ticking time bomb, and there's no thing that will set them off. There's no one thing that will set them off. They will set off whenever, over whatever they want. This is why many people can start to speak quietly around people, speak slowly around people, because they're constantly watching their thoughts to try and make sure they don't hurt another person's feelings because of the reactions they've had from a narcissistic person over their life. As narcissists or the self-entitled hypocrite, they are allowed to, or they believe they're allowed to criticise others, they're allowed to judge others, they're allowed to pull other people down, they're allowed to tell other people what to do. However, nobody's allowed to do that to the narcissist, even if it's constructive criticism, even if it's a compliment, even if you're trying to help them. And when things go wrong in a narcissist's life, or something's gone wrong in your life, a narcissist is going to turn around and say, oh, I knew you'd blame me. Even though you've not even blamed them for anything, because they're trying to extract that sympathy. However, when it comes to a narcissist, when it comes to some form of criticism, if you're out in public, they can laugh it off. They can take it as narcissistic, or they can turn it into narcissistic supply. They can laugh it off. If you say something like, I like that top, in public, and everyone starts complimenting them on it, this will boost their ego, and they'll not take it as criticism. They'll be very kind in front of all those other people. It's when you get home that they will change their mood and react to you. Out in public, a narcissist can take things as, or twist things into narcissistic supply. In the privacy of their own home, their true character comes out, and they take things as a narcissistic injury and rage out at you. Narcissists are incredibly envious people. They're very self-entitled people. They exploit people, and they lack empathy to care for how their behaviour affects those around them, only how consequences would affect themselves. They're very defensive people. They're very protective of themselves. They don't want to take responsibility for their own behaviour. If they see somebody else is doing well, they're going to claim that other people have all the luck. They complain often. They're very negative people. They're always looking for the negatives in life. They're always looking to devalue others, to bring other people down. And they lack the self-awareness of what they are doing, of how their behaviour affects their own life, because they're too busy blaming everybody else. When it comes to somebody who takes a compliment as criticism, this isn't somebody who's been around a narcissistic person, who is naturally sensitive, or somebody who doesn't respond to criticism very well. Nobody likes criticism. This is a person who takes things way out of proportion, who looks to blame everybody else, who doesn't recognise their own behaviour. So yes, although many people don't like criticism, although toddlers can be very demanding, teenagers can be very demanding, those narcissistic people take it to a whole new level where you feel uncomfortable around them to say the simplest of things in case you set them off, to which they'll blame you, so you're the one that's then working harder to please them. If anyone has any thoughts on the video, please add those into the comments. I shall add in the description the video on the negative narcissist. Thank you very much for listening. Go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.